everyone, I am Pooja from grade 10th standard. Today I am going to explain about the light and the laws of the reflection. Let us know how humans perceive things around us. We have 5 senses to interact with world around us. These are sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. Eyes help us to see things, ear help us to hear, we smell with nose, taste with tongue, and the sense of the touch. Skin. Sight is the most important among this. We perceive almost 80% of the world around us by using our sense of sight. We see objects around us by sight, but why we cannot see in dark? And it is a question about light. Light from this object travel from the space reach our eye. When there is a dark, there is a no light, so we cannot see anything. But some object can generate their own light. For example, sun, candle, bulb, etc. Most all of the objects that we come across cannot generate their own light. Table, chair, wall, paper are non-luminous objects which cannot generate own light. As I told you that we see objects around us by the light. But how can this non-luminous object can visible? We are able to see them by reflection of light. This object reflect the light to our eyes. What are light reflecting, where they are coming from? This light is coming from luminous object. So how can we summarize this? So we can see non-luminous object, they are reflecting from luminous object falling on this surface. Let me repeat. The light coming from luminous object which falling on non-luminous object. Non-luminous object, then this reflect the light and this reflected light reaches our eyes, and that's why we see the object. In the daytime we can see blue skies, green grass because of the light of the sun can reflect our eye. At night time we are able to see moon because it is reflecting the light from the sun. Note this, that moon cannot generate their own light and it is a non-luminous object. As I said earlier, most of the objects that we come across in our daily life are non-luminous objects. We only see them because they reflect the light. Step inside the dark room, light up the torch, point into the distant wall. Look carefully at the path of the light coming from the torch. You can see tiny dust particles in the air. What is the reason for this? Why are you able to see these particles? You are able to see the dust particles because the light from the torch is getting reflected from these surfaces and traveling our eyes. We also see this in very dimly and light room. When there is the only source of the light is the small amount of the sunlight coming from the window. Because of the reflection of an object, we can see most of the objects. Because of the reflection of the light, we can see most of the object. Now let us know what are the laws of a reflection. As we saw about a luminous and a non-luminous object. Non-luminous object reflected the light by the luminous object. In which object that luminous in which direction does the luminous object emits the light? They emit the light from all possible directions. Consider fluorescent bulb which is glowing, which is emitting lights from all the directions. Let us denote each directions to the straight line and arrow on it and pointing in the direction of the light is traveling. So all these arrows represent the various paths along which light is traveling. These arrows what we call rays of a light. Here how we define the ray of the light. A ray of a light is a straight line path along which light travels. So now we know that light emitted by the luminous object travels in all the directions. Suppose the rays of the light from this fluorescent bulb follow the surface which is non-luminous, reflect the light. This reflected rays travel along a certain path. Consider this plane surface. Suppose one of the ray light from the bulb straight at the point. This is called an incident ray. We know that this surface reflects the light and the reflected ray travels in this direction. Why only in this direction? Why not in other way? This is because it obeys laws of a reflection. When they strike to any surface, draw a perpendicular line to the surface at the point of the incident. This line is also called normal. Here there are two laws of a reflection which obey the light. The first law is angle of the incident is always equal to the angle of reflection. I is equal to R. So this was the first law. Second law for reflection say that the incident ray, the normal at the point of the incident and the reflected ray all lies in the same plane. Here, the incident ray, reflected ray, normal are in the same plane. For example, the reflected ray is in this direction. Instead of this, the diagram will look like this. Whereas incident and the normal are the same plane, whereas reflected ray is not in this plane. This is just not possible. It can only be like this. I equal to R. They will lie on the same plane. I hope both the laws are clear.